Mr. Vajc, how do you see today's vote in the Committee on Foreign Affairs in the European Parliament concerning the report on North Macedonia?
First time since 2022 we voted on a report and we found a majority. 2/3 of the members were voting in favor of this report.
Was it hard to get the majority of the membership to vote for this report, because we know that there were a lot of obstructions before that?
Well, negotiations were difficult and lengthy. We had to postpone once, but at the end of the day, this is a very clear majority, and I think that speaks for itself.
And what does this mean in perspective of European integration of Republic of North Macedonia?
I think this is an important step to accelerate accession talks with North Macedonia. I think it's an important step, again, that the Parliament shows clear support, but the Parliament also has a clear, also critical view on the state of play, on the need for reforms, but also on the good progress that the country has. And North Macedonia has applied 20 years ago to become member of the European Union, and now today the Parliament has set the way free from the Parliament side to accelerate negotiations.
What does it mean that the amendments that were not taken into account, the first one from the EPP and then the amendments from the Bulgarian MEPs, what this means for the overall process?
Together with all the shadow rapporteurs, we tried, and I think we did, create a balanced report that takes into account also concerns from neighboring states, but also takes into account the concerns of opposition, of civil society, of diplomats, of the whole range of society. Yes, today we've seen that amendments coming from different sides have been voted in this Parliament, which is very normal for us. We usually have amendments, and they are also an expression of standpoints of members of the House and members of АФЕТ, and that's fully okay. That's democracy.
How do you see these steps in terms of the Macedonian-Bulgarian relations, and also in the future, the processes that are now pending in the coming future?
All our European states, while forming the European Union, had to reach out to their neighbor states, had to invest into reconciliation, had to invest also into common finding on common standpoints of history. This has not happened so much in the region, in the Balkan region. I think it still needs to happen between North Macedonia and Bulgaria, to be very concrete. But also these are normal processes that we all did in the European Union. I myself, I'm an Austrian citizen. We had a lot of history to solve with our neighbors, but this is something the countries need to do bilaterally. This is a report of the European Parliament on the state of play of accession on North Macedonia, and it's not a report that is due to deal with bilateral historical disputes or the need for reconciliation.
Do you think that this will help with the things that are now waiting in terms of the constitutional amendments, constitutional changes that are needed for Macedonia to open the negotiating clusters?
I think it shows a clear will and a clear support by the European Parliament for the accession process, but it's a merit-based process, so reforms are needed. A constitutional change is needed. It might not be the last one. All our countries needed to do some constitutional changes to be able to join the European Union, the common market, the common legislation of the acquis communautaire. This is a very normal process. And yes, North Macedonia needs to do the next steps, so do the constitutional amendment so we can finally start actual negotiations.
So you think that now the ball is, so to speak, in Macedonian court?
In regards of the constitutional amendment, it clearly is.
The statements that were coming in the past from government in Skopje, but also from government in Sofia, were they helping your work to accomplish this vote today?
Governments communicate under their internal political logic, and they are not there neither to help nor not to help me. This is a report of the European Parliament, and it should happen independently and impartially from local or national interests.
Yeah, I mean in terms of, building a bit of more tensions and of rhetorics between the two countries. Was this helpful with you?
What we see is that on both sides, some public statements have been fueling tensions rather than decreasing tensions. I strongly believe in these days, today, in the geostrategical situation that we're all in, we Europeans need to stand together. We need to put on the forefront what we have in common and not invest all our energy on the small details or even bigger details that do not unite us. So we need to stand together in these days, and I think this is a call to everyone in the European Union. We need to put the common sense first and our national internal politics second.
seeing the broader picture, do you think that if the constitutional changes are adopted, that North Macedonia will quickly catch up with the two front-running countries from the region? I mean, Montenegro and Albania. Albania has just opened the fourth chapter.
When I started to work on the region 20 years ago, we had two frontrunners, Slovenia and North Macedonia. North Macedonia has implemented a lot of European legislation over the years. North Macedonia is in a good position to catch up, but we need clear moves also from the side of government and parliament. We need a clear fulfillment of the requirements, and then negotiations can go swift.